Request of Peter Kokopelli to address council regarding bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure. Peter's joining us online.
Welcome, Peter.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Peter Kokopelli, and I'd like to thank you, the mayor and the commissioners, for inviting me into the council. It's my first time. I would like to discuss today daylighting, which is also called vision clearance by PBOT. And that's the concept of opening up intersections by moving parked cars away from crosswalks to make them safer and more visible. I live near 68th and Belmont. This is what the street corner looks like when you try to cross the street. This is not a high crash street, but there was an accident here not long ago involving two cars. This kind of situation is not safe for drivers or for anybody else. PBOT has already completed vision clearance at 350 intersections on high crash streets. They cost only $800 per intersection. It's a really good deal. And first off, I want to thank the council commissioners for making that happen. It's a really good first step. However, there are many intersections not protected on safe routes to schools, on bus routes, on streets like Belmont that are, where people are walking to school and trying to get to a bus stop, and neighborhood greenways as well. On Monday, a car hit a child in a crosswalk at Woodstock Elementary. And part of the problem was that there was a car obscuring the view of the child. What I would propose, provide funding for daylighting in these areas: neighborhood greenways, pedestrian priority streets, schools, and on bus routes. I'd also suggest that you use PSEP funding. This would be a fabulous use for PSEP funds. $2 million would do thousands of intersections. We've already shown that with the pilot study that PBOT has done. I would also suggest that you expand street painting permits, get the community involved, and let them paint curbs and corners to outline and daylight intersections. I'm ready to go. PBOT's done a great job with this. It supports Vision Zero. It saves lives. This is one of these small steps that would really help bring down the traffic fatalities and accidents. Daylighting builds on Portland's reputation as a walkable and friendly city. Thank you for supporting daylighting and for your time today. You got 15 seconds for questions.
Great. Hey, Peter, thank you. That was an excellent presentation.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate it. Commissioner Mapps is our transportation commissioner, and he has a comment as well.
Sure. I very much agree with the mayor. Peter, really excellent testimony. Great idea. As you pointed out, PBOT embraces daylighting. I'd like to expand it too. I'll tell you, I live kind of in your neighborhood, so I know exactly the dynamics that you're talking about. It can be quite scary and difficult to try to cross some of these streets given where we allow cars to park. I'm committed to making our transportation system safer. Again, resources are going to be a big problem in the coming weeks and months. You're going to see me unveil the PBOT's budget, and that's going to require, at this point, about $35 million in cuts. But even as we right-size the Bureau, one of the things I'm deeply committed to is continuing to make progress on making our streets safer. Daylighting is going to be part of the solution, and I really appreciate you highlighting the opportunities that we have in this space. So thanks for being here, and thanks for the great thinking.
Peter, could I just ask one quick question? And again, great presentation, and I agree with you. And blocked corners are sort of one of my pet peeves, so I'm completely in alignment with you. You mentioned PSEP as a possible source of funding. Could you make the case for that?
Yeah, I think that the big case is that this, I emphasize this is a problem for everybody. Even drivers are incredibly annoyed, and it causes accidents. But I feel it most when I'm a pedestrian, and especially I'm walking with my grandson. I mean, you're just almost halfway out into the street before you can get across, and that's just to get to the bus stop. I'm also a transit rider. So if you're looking at the climate goals for PSEP and you're trying to remove obstacles, this is a really cheap way to do it. You know, it's those, I think people use the term nudges. This is one of those little nudges that will push people in the wrong direction with that bad experience they have at a ongoing street corner.
I think that's a compelling case. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Commissioner Maps.
Sure. I want to point out that, well, I would love to explore with the PCEF community the opportunities to fund these fund projects like this through with those funds. I'll tell you, colleagues, given the price of this particular innovation, I hope that we can take a look at other possible sources of funds for this too. I think anyone who has tried to cross these streets or streets like this in Portland knows how dangerous they are. Peter's pointed out it's relatively cheap to fix. It would be great to make progress in this area. It's truly one of the rare low-hanging fruits in the transportation space, and I hope that we can work together to make this a more widespread practice.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thanks.
sir. Thank you, Peter.
Great. Thank you
individual,
again.
please. Thank you, Peter. Next individual, 86, please.